Anybody got any fears?
I have a lot of fears.
That one punches you hard in the beginning. This one just won't let go.
This is horrible.
It hurts so much. It's so terrible.
Wow. Welcome to our Hot Ones Wing Challenge. I'm Kyle from Eco Tree, and Allie from Legacy Trees is going to help me host today. I'm going to start by introducing our team. And before I do that, I want to thank Riviera Pub and Grill in Hatfield, Wisconsin for hosting us, making these delicious wings, and coating them in the 10 sauces you see here. The goal is for us to get through all 10. Now, I know I am going to get through all 10. We'll see if everybody else is up for the challenge. So here with me today from my team is Sean from Eco Concrete. And we've also got our owner and fearless leader, Adam, from Eco Tree, Eco Concrete, and Sport Country. Allie, you want to introduce your team?
Yeah, so I'm Allie. I'm the operations manager of Legacy Trees. Right here we got Jake Lewis. He's our supply chain director. We got the founder and CEO of Legacy Trees right over there, Ron Zilmer. And then we've got Zach Zilmer, our head of research and development. And we're excited to be here and maybe have some fun.
Yeah, we're going to definitely have some fun. Who's most excited about this? Anybody got any fears?
I'm excited. I'm excited. I have a lot of fears.
Yeah, a lot of fears. Your glove ripped already. All right. So the first one we got is the buffalo. We're going to go ahead and take that, and then we'll get into the questions.
All together now.
All together?
Starts out.
Do you remember what one it was? I hope this is the right
Don't
order.
forget your orientation.
That's good. I'm going to eat the whole thing.
Wow. Well done, Riviera. Beautiful one.
Yeah, thank you.
I could probably eat 9 of these first ones.
Mm-hmm. So let's get things kicked off with something basic, right? I'll start with you, Ron. What's your favorite tree?
My favorite tree growing up was a bur oak, champion of the prairie. Beautiful, rugged, champion of the prairie. My favorite.
What about you, Adam? You got a favorite tree?
Yeah, you stole mine. Yeah, bur oak. Other than that, a lot of respect for the white pine, especially when they get broken up when they're old, when they're elder. They're gorgeous.
I like the bur oak a lot. I think one that I have a soft spot for is the cottonwood tree, just because around like La Crosse where I live right now, that's like the biggest trees you'll see are cottonwoods, and when you see a big one, it's pretty magnificent.
My favorite's the sugar maple state tree. The stark fall color of them is always stands out.
We should probably get started on our next wing.
Yeah. The next one has garlic flavor in it. I've never had it, but we'll see.
Yeah. Jake first. In the tree care world, what's a common misconception people have about us as tree care workers and individuals in the industry?
I think people think all we want to do is cut down trees and remove trees. And it's a lot more than that. And we're really out there for caring for them and doing what's best for the tree in the location that it is and choosing the best remedy for any issues that it has.
I think most of them don't understand that some of us are tree nerds. There's actually a lot of science and biology and physics that goes into it. So to really do it well, it's actually quite, you have to be a pretty well-rounded individual.
30 years ago, they did a national survey, and what people in the United States define tree care as is men with no shirts on in pickup trucks. I'm not kidding. So I'm hoping that 30 years post that survey, we are starting to turn the corner into that professional side of tree care, because it's amazing how much knowledge is out there and how well people are trained today versus 30, 50 years ago.
You see Allie and some people have already gone for some water. I'm going to try to hold off as long as I can. It's not a competition though. Like we're just doing this.
Hey,
we're not going
parched.
I appreciate it. We're not going to the next wing quite yet. I want to ask Sean a question. Let's talk driveways for a second. What is the secret behind the longevity and durability of a well installed driveway?
Weather plays a huge part in that, as well as reinforcement, having fibers that bind the concrete together, as well as rebar that'll hold all the pieces together. Also, control joints that plays a huge role, having them in the proper location often enough, so the squares are smaller. those play a big role.
How's everybody feeling so far?
Good.
That
That's good,
second
right?
one was delicious,
Not
actually.
hot at all.
Right, exactly. So let's
This
go.
is like the calm. It's like it fools you into thinking you can go for 10. It really is. Like, I'm thinking, oh, this isn't bad.
I got this.
This is like a,
Sweeter?
yeah, this is the passion fruit one.
I can taste it.
One of the big things that I've learned about you, Adam, is that the carbon neutrality is really important to you. How does the carbon neutrality contribute to a more sustainable environment?
With the I guess the modernization of civilization, we've been pumping a lot more CO2 into the atmosphere. So with at least our companies, it's important for us to try to offset that as much as we can. Concrete's a very carbon intense industry. Our partnership with Save the Rainforest makes that possible, and you can run a good business and you can be good for the environment. It doesn't have to be at odds. So it's, we're just very focused on making sure that that's a key part to our businesses.
And carbon is not location specific. It's global. Okay. Go back to concrete, hard surfaces. The way to mitigate stormwater runoff is right out your window. Okay, we need hard surfaces for driving, walking, and different things. We urbanize areas, and hard surfaces, buildings come with that. But the way to mitigate stormwater runoff, which I think is going to be equally as important as carbon in the future, is we offset that right where the hard surfaces are, and we offset it with tree canopy.
I think there's a lot of people out there that just don't have general knowledge about planting a tree, right? And it seems super straightforward. You grab the tree, you put it in the ground, you walk away, it turns into this massive, huge cottonwood down Cass Street in La Crosse. But even though it seems straightforward, what is something that people often miss about the significance of planting a tree? The moment that you plant the tree, what is something that you think people overlook that determines the life or death of that tree?
Well, at the time of planting, it's going to be root system, right? It's, everybody just thinks you just plug it in, walk away, grab it from the nursery, stick it in, and take a hike. But it's not necessarily very complex, but there are a few key steps that you have to take. And you do have to have a base of knowledge as to how to do that properly, because without doing that properly, you're dooming the tree. It will not live as long. It will not thrive. It will not grow as fast. It won't provide the canopy you want, and it won't mitigate that stormwater in the same way.
I want to add a fun question to this, because you guys talked about what your favorite tree was, but if your personality was a tree, right? What tree would it be?
You're an ironwood.
No.
Why do you say that? Why do you say Sean's an ironwood?
Hard as a rock. He works with concrete.
I don't know. I think I just go with a standard like flowering crab, just because I like to be loud and bubbly, and I think that might fit a flowering crab.
What about you, Ron?
Been asked that before, and I love bur oak because it 150 years old and it doesn't show any damage from storms and things. But I really feel like one of the champions of our urban forest is actually the good old silver maple. I've watched them in storm events where they have literally like a mop, whoosh, bang, and snap back. Okay, very flexible. And they're just a champion of, even if I get busted up in an ice storm, I'll come back tenfold with new branches, and they're just a champion of survival.
Okay, guys, let's go ahead. We're going to the next one. It's our fourth wing barbacoa. Everybody's going through this fast. You thought you were gonna go out at 3 or 4.
This is pathetic.
You say that now.
That's a soundbite right there.
Pretty sure it's-
This is a good wing.
It is.
Yeah.
This might be my favorite one so far, this sauce.
So Zach, when we're talking and thinking about the future of trees in urban environments, we've all seen emerald ash borer, Dutch elm disease, and everything. Can you kind of explain diversity in tree planting, and why is it crucial, and how does Legacy kind of champion, what's our philosophy of championing diversity? Because it's a pillar in our company, and why is that so important as we look towards the future of urban trees?
Well, I think emerald ash borer, chestnut blight, Dutch elm disease, insert pathogen, have taken out certain genus or species of trees in our urban forests. And the more of those that come through, the less trees we have in our toolbox to repopulate our urban forest. And so I think it's very important that we are constantly putting in the ratios of genus and species in our urban forest in the areas that they can be successful. Some trees can't be successful in an urban setting, but all those trees we have in our toolbox in that setting, we want to have a good spread of ratio of genus and species so that when and if it's more of a when, there's going to be another disease that comes through that takes out a bunch of trees. You're not going to lose the entire street of canopy. You might lose some of the trees. That's just, trees are going to die either way, whether they get a pathogen or not. But having a big variation is going to very much help us hedge against that in the future.
If you had to predict the next insect or disease pathogen that would take out trees like emerald ash borer and Dutch elm disease, what would you predict to be the next one to go?
Maple.
Yeah, I was going to
It's
say.
gonna be maple.
Spotted lanternflies.
Yeah, lanternfly, everything.
We are heavily skewed with maples in our urban environment, particularly upper Midwest, a lot of areas. But let's not forget, we've got a lot of them because they're really good at growing in the urban environment. So it's a catch-22. We've certainly set the stage based on population, or if something came through and hit the maples next, we've got a very, we're out of balance when it comes to maples. Doesn't mean we shouldn't plant them, but we need to just start planting more in balance with those ratios we talked about.
I think that brings up a good point, Ron, because when we talk about planting today, a lot of people want to not plant maples that know that there's a lot of them out there. And it's more about, we should start today planting in the ratios we want to see. There's a lot of deep planting that's shortening the lifespans of our trees that are planted in our urban ecosystems, as well as other factors that are lowering the lifespan. So by planting in the ratios we'd like to see today, over time as trees are taken out and replaced, that ratio will start to become more across the population. So it's not about don't plant maples for 20 years. It's about just plant the maples in the ratio you want to see them.
The basis of this show, when they run it on YouTube, you see it, is they're interviewing celebrities, a lot of movie stars. In that vein, right? Like if they made a movie about your life, who would you want to play you?
It'd be cool if Arnold Schwarzenegger, that'd be cool. He's a little old now.
Give me your glasses and your motorcycle.
I'd go on record as saying I'd want Shrek to play me.
Shrek, Michael Myers.
I identify with Shrek.
I just want Lady Gaga because she can act and sing and she's just cool.
Let's go into the next one. This is the power jab. We're halfway through. So many people didn't.
I'll say that
I am 2 past my personal goal today.
that last one had a little heat to it. So
Just
Oh,
walk
yeah?
away. Walk away, Ron.
This one's good. You can feel it heating up a little bit, though.
I'm like,
You can feel this one heating up. Yeah.
I like the
I'm
flavor.
gonna read the
The
next
flavor
one.
is so good.
Imagine a tree-themed superhero.
Groot.
Well, what would their superpowers be?
Groot's
Not Groot.
So, how you feeling, Adam?
Oh, good.
Yeah. Is that one?
My stomach's gonna hate me.
Is that one heating up a little bit?
Honestly, the mouth is fine. The esophagus, you can tell that the next one's gonna be a bummer.
Are we
Yeah.
making up a superhero or naming?
We're not doing
no,
Groot.
what would their superpowers be?
I would say that it'd have the ability to make things like green, right? A tree superhero would
So
just
like
be
poison
like,
ivy,
yeah.
Yeah,
her name? Or is that a superhero?
That isn't. That's
Yeah,
a villain,
villain,
but-
villain.
Yeah.
She can
Poison
make
ivy,
things
yeah.
grow and stuff.
Yeah, poison ivy would be wild.
My tree superhero would have the root system coming out of the ground and grabbing stuff 1,000 feet away. You know, and people don't think it's there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sucking them under.
No,
Exactly.
a tree superhero would be able to pick up deep planted urban trees, put them at the proper depths so they don't have to die.
And fly off into the sunset.
That's it.
Yes.
I think we should just go to
It's
the next
time.
one at this point. It's
Hold on,
time.
hold on. It's up top left, right?
Yeah, that
Yeah.
one's kind of.
If
Whoa.
I don't want
Don't take that
Isn't
one.
it
This
bottom
one.
up?
It
This
depends
is
on
Depends
how.
on his.
It
His is
depends on
different.
how you
Oh.
have
Yeah.
yours.
How'd you work?
Relax.
I came down this
Yeah, so
side.
this is the hottest one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going back up.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
I want to get this straight.
smoked ghost number 6. I am flying through these.
I'm nervous about
I'm
this.
not.
Yeah,
Yeah.
think
It's
that might
starting
be
to
I
get
got,
this.
I got heartburn going already.
Yeah.
This one's good too.
Oh yeah. So
This one's good too, man.
So if we look 50 years ahead, what happens if we don't really start hitting hard with repopulating our urban canopy now? Like really, what are going to be the effects 50 years from now if we don't start putting trees in where we're heavily urbanized? Adam, do you have anything to say to that?
I can tell that hit some people.
I do have things to say. You can't speed up trees. You can do everything right, and give them a good site, but they are only going to grow as fast as they're going to grow. You have to really, I mean, if we don't do things now, we won't be able to positively affect tomorrow. So we'll just be way even farther behind the 8 ball than we currently are with repopulating the canopy. So
I think you look at the heat islands that we already can see right now in certain parts of our urban areas, and I mean, think of it with no canopy there. I mean, that increases the temperature in our urban environments by who knows how much, but the shade from the trees plays a huge role in that.
I'm having such a good time right now. I'm having such a good time.
I will say the heat is really not that bad on that. It's just every time I swallow, it just the esophagus doesn't like it.
Yeah.
No,
It's
that's
like
good.
sitting there in the back of the
Honestly, I told you guys you'd get so much farther than you thought you would.
I haven't touched milk.
I'm glad I made it.
I haven't touched
took a couple
water.
sips
I haven't
on that.
touched milk. I'm still chilling. I got the lemons. I haven't touched the lemons yet.
Do
But
those
I
help?
like it.
Let's get Kyle a medal.
How's everybody doing?
Good.
Jake,
My
Not
lips
good.
are burning.
Jake, you look like something.
I got to do better at not getting my lips on the wing.
All right,
Well,
well,
let's get your lip.
let's go to the next one. It's our 7th wing.
I need to
Ginger
reload
goat.
on milk first. I'm sorry, but
Last one really
gotta
I'm
say-
preparing for more pain.
I gotta say, this thing better step it up because I am not impressed.
Eh.
Just want you to have these clips so I'm crying later.
This is
A great thing that you said when answering that last question kind of really leads into the next question that I have. And this is for the 2 business owners that are here. You had talked about getting employees and things like that. As business owners and stuff, maybe share like what has been kind of a motivation or a surprise or something that you didn't expect when you started your business, but has turned into something that really like pushed you forward and kept you going to get successful.
One, I guess, area where I didn't expect to have to put in so much effort, I guess, was finding employees or partners. You know, because I feel like we're all partners over here, but employees at the company, because I don't know. You believe in what you're doing so much, why wouldn't everybody want to work with you? You know, but not everybody knows you exist, or people aren't ready for change, or you have to have a really competitive benefits package. You know, what are you doing better than what? How are you going to improve their situation versus where they are? You know, to compel them to move over and work with you. So I think we've definitely rounded the corner on that. Now we have people just calling us because they know about our reputations. But that took a while to build. So that was unexpected, definitely.
Yeah. What about you, Ron?
Wow.
He didn't know he was going to have a client like me that was going to give him such a hard time about everything.
I guess I was confident I could attract the right employees to work directly with me.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't fear that, but I'm also very light on employees, by design. The companies that we partner with as part of our network, I thought it was going to be simpler than this. It's a much more complex relationship than I anticipated. I thought, here's a great product, get the product from us, install the product for your clients. And the level of relationship we're building with a lot of our companies that we work with, and through them to their clients, their client base, and that has been tremendously more hours than I anticipated going into this. Very satisfying. It's great, but I have since turned to my employees and said, look, we are in the tree business, but we are primarily in the relationship business. We want to be exceptional at that. And that takes much more of an investment than I realized. I worked 29 years for the government, so I had relationships within the government and within education and things, but nothing that compared to this level of interaction on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis. So.
Nice. Zach, kind of piggybacking off that, I understand you're getting your MBA right now?
Yes.
Right. So that being said, you kind of getting that, and you could probably be looking at jobs in different kind of places. What was it about Legacy Trees, aside from it being something that was part of the family, that keeps you there and keeps you motivated to be?
I want to hear this.
Well, I didn't really know what my dad did growing up. And when I was in college is when me and Allie and Jake was there as well. We helped out with his first research that ended up becoming what Legacy Trees is today. So that was my first exposure to what he did and also the world of tree care. once I was done with school, I started doing this full time. And as I spent a couple of years with it, I kind of was, thinking like, where's my bigger role? Where am I heading with the company? Because I believe so much in what we're doing and what our impact is going to be. And for me, it felt like where Ron knew a lot about trees and we knew a lot about legacy trees because that's what we do. Learning more about business and the ins and outs of that was going to help us make what we do better, not just for ourselves, but for, most importantly, like the companies we work with and their customers, helping like us be able to deliver on the things that we're doing and making it a better experience for everyone. So that was what motivated me. And I've already done my first semester and it's been great. I have never been so motivated in school before as this because it matters. Everything I'm doing right now matters. And that's really, it wakes me up in the morning, which is great.
So Sean, kind of piggybacking off Zach, he joined the family business and he's now pursuing his MBA to help further that business. But how did you come to know Adam? What made you choose concrete, and specifically Eco Concrete? What has that relationship turned into and how did it get
Well, I chose concrete when I was like 15, 14,
Do you like your
15.
back, or?
Well, it's not so good no more. I loved it instantly. I loved, there's something about concrete that feels very alive to me. It's not just dumping it on the ground and then finishing it. You need to know how to read it. You need to understand it. And I love it. It's just something that I really enjoy. And I've worked for many, many companies over the years and relatively all the same. Concrete guys are kind of the same kind of guy. It's a rough group.
Yep.
And I met Adam, and I had always wanted to be different, and Adam wants to be different, and it just worked. We have a vision that of being a very, very top-notch concrete company, and we both want to perform that and deliver that to our customers and partners. So that's why I'm here.
You may quit after the next wing, though.
I don't know. I didn't think I was going to make it this far.
I didn't think that last one was very
This
hot.
next one is the one that gets people.
Yeah, so
Great.
with that being said, this is the bomb evolution because it's the one that comes in the package. They don't have the exact one that people eat on the show, but this is usually the turning point for people. So get ready to answer
Kansas.
some hot
Thanks
questions.
for the invite, Kyle. I'll be leaving now.
I thought I was around. I have to try it.
Yeah, there's some.
It's not a good idea.
Not a good idea. Ooh.
Clear the throat.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
This one did step it up.
Yeah.
That's way hotter than
It is
the
not
last
good.
one.
It doesn't
does not
taste
taste
very
good.
good. No.
I think they lied on the last one.
Oh.
I eat these.
I don't think that was in the mouth.
I'm so glad we're getting this on camera.
I can't take another bite of that.
Yeah, I've eaten every
This
every
flavor is
wing.
terrible.
Wait a minute. The Hulk says he's not having another bite.
Ooh, fine.
I don't know if I'm going to eat the
I
rest of
can't.
this. Allie, since you're going through it right now and you are my co-host, I think it's the perfect
I
time
hate
to
this.
ask you the question about if you were stranded on an island and you could bring 2 items with you, what would they be?
It wouldn't be that wing.
2 items. That
2
would be
items with
tree
you.
related?
It's not about survival. Let's just assume you're going to survive on the island. What 2 things would you bring there? Entertain or anything like that? It hurts so much. It's so terrible.
Wow.
I'm not right. It's try to laugh at her.
It won't stop.
So
2 items.
I did 3 bites and I regret all of them.
I did one and I'm glad I did it. This is horrible.
My tongue is going to fall.
I can tell you, lemons don't really help.
They don't. That would make it worse. This idea is lemon. This is worse.
Come over and give it a try.
It did make it worse. So much worse.
I instantly made it worse.
Oh.
the 2 items I would bring. My God, it hurts so bad. I would bring a lighter. No, wait, it doesn't have to be about survival.
It doesn't have to be about survival.
But if you wanted to survive, bring a lighter.
If it's about comfort, I want my bed.
Why?
I'd bring a satellite phone.
Yeah, this one definitely kicked it up.
I bring my bed. On a boat.
That hurts.
That's way worse.
I
than
like
the last
boating.
one.
How'd you get your bed here on the boat?
Yeah. So Ron, before you leave, Ron is clearly. It looks like you're tapping out on that wing. So before you go, let me ask you one of the hottest questions. Right? So you got this legacy tree, and this was not on the list. Nobody saw this question, but I knew I wanted to ask it. With the employees that you have on your team, who would you say, on your management team, who would you say is your favorite?
Oh, yes.
Oh, that's a
Good question.
No pressure.
I'd like to say that 2 of the 3 are related.
Yeah.
So let's see. Who's your favorite?
I think that makes an obvious answer.
It's a diplomatic answer.
So, yeah, that's a great question, Kyle. So glad you asked.
I knew I wanted to ask that question.
My hands are tingling.
Good Lord. You should have asked it when I could talk.
That's okay.
Go
We'll
short
let you.
answer this time.
We'll let you off the hook if you want.
No, I can answer it. I would say
My hands tingling.
I love aspects of all 3 of them. Okay. I would say that some of my best times have been dinner out with Jake, because he's not one of my family, and we need those times together alone without the other 2 around. I would say I love riding in the vehicle with Allie. There's never a dull moment.
I'm a great shotgun rider.
Okay. And I love watching the college football team captain out on the job site, just letting it rip, just getting it done.
So which of those ranks the highest? Of those attributes.
Just keep focused.
That's a great answer. Thank you for braving that question. I knew I wanted to ask that, and it wasn't coming. And it's hot. Like, I'm sweating. I can see on my glasses I got some little fog. But I'm good.
That actually dulled my vision, and I'm not even kidding.
So Ron, are you sure you don't want to go to the next one?
I'm not good.
That's fair.
Can I just prep?
Yeah. We got our first tap out
And I got a bottle of ketchup.
after wing 7.
8.
Or after wing 8, yeah. So everybody who thought they
you were going to make it.
like Ron, let's give Ron a round of applause.
Good job, Ron.
Because Ron did say that he was going to get to wing 4 and tap out.
This is a
he got
map
all the way to wing 8.
I tried.
And it's great that you...
Does anybody want any hors d'oeuvres?
I still can't.
Allie, are you good to give the next question?
Divorce, yeah.
Let's just go straight to the next wing and then we'll go into the next question.
I need to ask the question before I eat the wing. Otherwise, you're not getting the question
Okay,
asked.
let's go.
If you could have any celebrity plant a tree with you, who would it be and what tree would you plant? And for you, Sean, if you could have any celebrity pour concrete with you, who would it be? And go. I'm not excited.
Oh, gotta eat the wing.
I really don't want to, honestly.
I really don't want to do this.
Flavor's good. Flavor's wrong.
Better
That's
flavor.
not bad.
I'm just so sad.
I would pick David Attenborough just because I've heard him in every Earth documentary ever. And I want to hear just have him narrate planting the tree.
That's another thank you.
You've missed the point. I want Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's fair.
Oh, she
Everybody
didn't
knows a little.
I don't care where she is on the spectrum of green or not. I want to plant a tree with Scarlett Johansson. Can you make that happen?
Sean, you want to?
Next episode?
Yeah, sure.
This one was not nearly as bad as last
I'll
one.
eat these next 2 wings if you get Scarlett Johansson to plant a tree with me.
Ron, that one was...
That one isn't bad. You might be able to do that.
You should get hard into this.
I'm not... No, look
I
at
will not be manipulated.
Yeah, I didn't eat the last one, but I'm
That
eating
one's
this
not
one.
so bad.
Whenever a group of people try talking me into something, it doesn't end well.
It really wasn't as bad as I was.
You've been talking to plenty.
I'd probably pick Tom Hardy. Honestly,
he's cool.
at the end of the day, it's just to meet Tom Hardy. Tom Hardy or Idris Elba, they're a couple of my favorite actors. I love the movies that they're in, and it's interesting because my favorite director is Guy Ritchie. So they've been in Guy Ritchie movies. I just want to talk with them. It's probably a coincidence. It's just a coincidence that I just named like 3 British people. It's just cool. Like I like.
Have you seen
I like
Peaky
those
Blinders?
I have not watched Peaky Blinders at all, but
too.
I know it's out there, and I know that like there's so many seasons, so I know when I get to watch it, I'll be like, just.
Tom Hardy's character is pretty cool.
Tom Hardy. There's not a thing that I've seen Tom Hardy in that I haven't liked.
You seen The Revenant?
Yes.
I'm a big Leonardo DiCaprio fan, so I'd probably pick Leonardo DiCaprio, maybe Johnny Depp, and then Denzel Washington is also one of my all-time faves. I love The Equalizer. I watched it.
She's verklempt.
It's like not getting better. Like that wasn't so bad. It's not getting better.
I don't think it gets any better.
I'm gonna go with Joe Rogan. I always feel like on his podcast he's always so fascinated with things. So
Yeah, I definitely want to get live.
watching having him plant trees with us, he'd be like, wow. It's just so fascinating with it.
You dump these moon rocks in with it. I got it on good authority. They'll grow faster.
Honestly, I've been like that's how I feel. I mentioned it a little bit earlier, but that like his wow and Joe Rogan amazement. That's how I feel like going out with I went out with the crew and got strapped up and climbed.
Yeah.
And like to see them do that. And then honestly, when you came by and was talking about the different root systems, it's just like in my mind, like having no really thought of like how root systems should work or how a tree should work in that aspect, it was interesting because I thought like, they definitely need a ton of space underneath them. They just go deep. But to learn like it's actually like deep isn't what they need to do. They need to like
Oxygen.
go wide out and cover a lot of surface area. I was fascinated by it. I can't believe I like learned this thing and all the preconceived notions that you had like just going through school was just kind of cool.
I think I got to go with an action hero like Arnie or Stallone or Jason Statham or somebody like that. Some big action
Would they
guy.
have to be shirtless just to bring the whole thing together?
I think Arnie would have to be.
You gotta have
I
him
think
out
he
there on
would
a
have
demo
to be,
job, busting up the concrete.
swinging a jackhammer or something.
Swinging it for no reason.
Cool.
Yeah.
Just
You could use it like
I don't know.
exactly.
I think it was. I don't know. I think you just got to go that way with it.
Oh, before you grab that wing.
Oops,
Gotta
sorry.
dab it.
Oh shit.
Before you grab that wing.
I don't want to do it.
I'm doing
I don't want to do it.
This is the part of the
I'm still
show.
lightheaded from that.
Eighth one.
Us
That
getting
one was bad.
You've
Like,
come
this
this
last
far.
one wasn't like.
You've done a great job. We've gotten some tears. We've gotten some laughter. We've had some good times, and we answered some really great questions. So, like in the show, it is customary to put a little bit extra on the last swing. Now, anybody who wants to brave it with me and put a little bit extra, let's do it, because I'll put a little bit extra on there, a little bit more than just a dab. But I will put mine on first.
Let's do it.
And then
Everybody's doing it.
I'll put mine on first, and then
Adam.
We're doing this.
I'll let.
That's too
I
much.
still regain my
No,
vision.
stop.
Him. It's not a dab.
I'm just doing it.
Nothing is going to
a
compare
dollop.
to number 8.
Bro, the several dollars.
There you go. Yeah.
Oh, easy, dude.
Is this the one that Shaq
Oh, like
got?
the heart
Need
attack
to shower.
top.
Yeah.
Shaq was
That's just
so-
indigestion.
See, I hit on lacrosse without you.
Number 8?
CJ can't do
The
it.
bomb is the one that gets a
wanna
lot
do
of
it.
people.
But again, this one, I'm glad. This one was very much tamer for us because it doesn't have the
I'm
pepper
only doing.
extract.
I'm only
on
doing the dad. I'm only doing.
He's got like the whole dang thing.
I don't like him. I don't like him.
Yeah, I'm gonna bite
Oh,
right into
God,
it too.
look at this. I know you're
You know, I'd like to point out that after
I
the
haven't
bomb,
drank this much milk in a long time.
after the bomb, I've actually been very irritated with all the questions. For no reason. Why are we still talking?
I love it. That's kind of the point.
You had to ask me
One
the
drop?
question
How
when
many
we
did you do?
eight.
One drop?
I couldn't even
Yeah.
breathe.
That's
What's
a little bit more.
just
You
a-
can put a little bit more on there.
Oh,
do a little more, Jake. Come on.
I didn't. I mean, you.
Did you skip the bomb? You didn't skip the bomb, did you?
No.
I
No,
thought
he
you skipped
only
one.
took
Number
a bite,
8, I
though.
took a bite out of number 8.
It tasted terrible.
Yeah, that was a nasty win.
I'm freezing cold right now.
No, yeah, okay. I thought I was probably
Are you
just
cold?
I
one
thought
step
something was
closer.
wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's go, Allie.
There we go, Al.
Let's go, Allie.
You want to switch?
Cheers.
Hey, be proud of yourself to make it this far. Yeah, let's go.
Family, I love it.
And cheers.
Clear my throat
Here's
first.
crazy.
No.
Sweet God.
No.
How wide I eat the dab?
That's a lot.
Secret round.
Figures.
Oh wow, that's building.
Oh,
Yeah, you gotta get the ice cubes. Suck on the ice
Adam.
cubes. It helps.
So, as we get to the last question, for someone eyeing a career in tree care, what advice would you try and give them?
don't come to this event next year. Be really careful with who you select for the first company you get with. The first. Who
I
you
was
go
thinking
with first, because it could set you up to excel or to fail, because you don't know. Dang, right my lung. You don't know if you're getting. Where was I? How was I gonna answer it? How was I gonna answer it? It was good in my head until a second ago.
Oh, found me, though.
I still have not had milk, for the record. Just make sure you get it with a good company.
Ask Allie a question.
Carving real good.
I'm like uncomfortable in my skin.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Just take really deep breaths. That doesn't help
Just
either.
breathe. Just breathe.
No, the breathing hurt.
This?
I feel like the air kind of
Want
helps
some of
though.
that?
No, that's what made my lung burn.
So,
Get that milk
Allie,
away from me.
Allie,
I'm not doing
imagine
it.
you're hosting a party, right? I know Adam didn't get to finish his question, but you're in such a great state right now. I think this is the perfect time to ask you a question. So you're hosting a party and you're gonna have wings, right? Which of the sauces that we had today would be the one that you would have to make sure that people had?
I liked the garlic one,
Second one?
the second one, but I would require that everyone try number 8.
No.
That one punches you hard in the beginning. This one just won't let go.
No. Bread?
It hangs around.
You want bread?
Yeah,
You want bread for you.
Anybody
You
need
want-
bread?
Still have not touched milk.
Sean, you're doing so
Grab
good
Sean
right
a-
now. You're
tell
taking
Sean
the
to
deep
take
breaths. You're doing very good. You're doing very good. That's a wonderful catch. That's a wonderful catch. As you,
I feel like it's expanding.
as a foreman and
I hope we
one
got
of
your
the
face on
leaders
camera really
at
good.
Eco Concrete, when you look at finding new people, what are some of the traits that you look at that you think would make a great member of an elite concrete crew?
What was the question? Start over.
Yeah, no worries. I said, as you look at building more crews, what are traits in a potential employee that you could see and identify that you know would jive well in an elite concrete crew?
I would say being humble in a way, like being able to learn, like the desire to be taught.
Mm-hmm.
Was huge because it's hard work, and if you don't have a desire to learn how to do it, they just don't really last.
Right.
You know.
Really
So-
great answer.
Adam, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being like absolute vile, upset with me, and 1 being not at all. How are you feeling about the fact that we put this together and you participate?
I don't like you.
And I can't wait to do it again next year.
Yeah, we'll be cutting funding for this segment of the company. For some weird reason, I have gloves on. My hands are numb.
Well, that's neither here nor there. Whether you took a drink of milk,
I did
whether you
not.
took a drink of water, you got through it. So we've got in this true frame of Hot Ones and how Sean Evans does it. I'm going to do my best Sean Evans impersonation. We got that camera, that camera, that camera, that camera, that camera. Tell people what you got going on, what you're excited about for this new year as we've kicked off this new year with the Wing Challenge. What are you looking forward to? Anybody can answer this. I'd love to hear some of those thoughts.
Expanding our already awesome partnership with Legacy Trees, and just looking forward to all the new stuff we're going to be doing with them and all the opportunities I'm sure we'll be able to bring.
I'm excited for another year of getting these trees out there, letting people know what kind of trees we have. And got a great team, and I'm excited to get after all the goals we set for this year and all the people that we're working with that Legacy Trees has brought into our life. I'm excited for continuing to build that relationship and for all the new ones to come. So I'm excited for all that. The more you talk, it starts to heat up on you.
It's not getting better.
I am constantly reminding our partners, the companies we work with, like EcoTree, that they'll have a comment about things, and I'll say, well, that was 4 years ago. What we deliver to our companies was 4 years ago. We had to make those decisions, bring those trees on, get them planted, grow them up, deliver them. And we're at a really interesting point because we started planting in 2021 across the network. And this next summer is going to be a summer of explosion because the trees we initially planted in 2021 and some of the 2022 trees are going to truly start to explode above ground. And I've been telling everybody in the network, just wait, there's a second wave. The people that were the early adopters are going to go, we got to see this tree in the backyard, out front, wherever, because it is outperforming most every tree they've ever known their entire life. So I'm excited for this next year, particularly because we're going to have a lot of those moments happening where the believers are now convinced that we've delivered on what we said we were going to do.
Kind of bouncing off of that, I think that's something every year to be excited about is you plant trees the previous year and you go back and see them and the growth that they put on. But thing I'm excited about is the trees we have down in our nursery and seeing how they perform. Last spring, we planted a lot of new species that we haven't dealt with before, and being able to release those this summer is going to be very exciting for all of our companies to enjoy.
To be honest, I can just piggyback off of everything they've said, and I'm just excited to be here. I'm excited to continue on the journey and watch everyone grow passion and bring on new companies and watch everyone's growth and no more new opportunities like this, but
Are you crying from the heat or getting emotional?
no.
Well, yeah,
So cold.
that's it.
I think I'm going into cardiac arrest.
I'm just going in the shot.
I gotta clean my hands off.
Yeah.
And
Siri, am I
stop everything.
Hey, Siri, am I dying if I don't have it?
I'm gonna wash my hands too.
Answer so-
I don't want to touch my face.